we had insufficient number of aged care rooms for people to move into.
The population is aging very fast, and there's a large chunk of population aging. How do you make sure that people have communities within the communities for elderly to create within the planning process to make sure that you include elderly Australians and community members within those communities?
Well, that's the biggest key point in that is ageing in place. So ageing in place is that if I've lived my whole life in Thornley, I've lived my whole life in Pabbery, or I've lived my whole life in the suburb of Willetton, as you get older, familiarity is far more important than anything else. Social isolation is what kills people in the end, I think.
Yeah.
People feel lost and they don't feel like their life is secure anymore. So forcing people as they get older to move out of an area they've lived most of their life and force them into an area because of either price or because there's no facilities in the area in which they lived is a real problem for planners. We have to be building more aged care. We need to be releasing more aged care places into places so that people can age in place. So Rossmoyne, for instance, which is in the city of Canning, is a really lovely suburb. But for a long time there, we had insufficient number of aged care rooms for people to move into. We now have Rossmoyne Waters. Now, Rossmoyne Waters was built by a church group, and I won't name them, but it's a fantastic high-end product because you have to have an offering for everybody.
Yeah.
But they've released, many homes onto that market there, which is allowing that ageing population of Riverton, Rossmoyne and Shelley to stay living in the area in which they've lived their whole life.
Yeah.
That's the aim. I would hate to see people having to live the city they've lived in and end up in, if you've lived north of the river or here in, Welshpool, Redcliffe, around this area, end up in Gosnells or Thornley at an age of 80, not knowing where you are in the morning and feeling really disrupted and disturbed. I don't think that's where we go. So the City of Canning, like most local governments, divested from aged care years ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of aged care in Western Australia was run by local government.
Yeah.
The federal government introduced so much red tape and made it so hard to comply that you really now must be a specialist provider because it's just too hard to comply lawfully with what is required to run aged care. And then, of course, they had the aged care it was the inquiry into aged care.
Royal Commission.
It was, and that provided a lot of reference points for local government, but it also, I think, scared the bejeebies out of local government